Kyle. Man, thanks so much for meeting me today. I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling. We've looked at a lot of different cities, a lot of different homes, and it just seems like everything is either way too expensive, property taxes too high, we don't like the schools. Is there any other city that you can think of that we could look at? I'm really sorry to hear that you're having a hard time finding a home. Now let me ask you, have you thought about Hoschton, Georgia? It's about 50 miles northeast of Atlanta, directly off of I-85. And with a population that's more than doubled over the past few years, it's definitely a city worth checking out. All right, you've got my interest, but tell me a little bit more. Why are people moving there right now? Well, that's a great question. And I would say probably housing affordability and manageable access to Atlanta. As you get closer to Atlanta, the homes get more and more expensive. So the farther you come out towards Hoschton, the prices are going to be better and you're going to get a newer and nicer home. So newer and nicer seems great, especially at a more affordable price, but it's the 50 miles that I can't seem to get over. That's going to be a lot of drive for me to work every day. True. But keep in mind, it's directly off of I-85, and with most homes being just about 10 minutes away from the interstate, it's just a straight shot from there to Atlanta. Okay, you've calmed me down a bit. The drive seems more manageable than maybe what I thought. So tell me a little bit more. What types of things are there to do in Hoschton? So much more as they've grown over the years. There are several parks and trails in the area. Sells Mill Park, Hoschton Park, Tanner Park, just to name a few. They have great restaurant options like Sliced Pizza, Warren's Cafe, Pasta Masters, Asian Garden, and right next door in Brazelton, there's a ton of options there too. And a lot of local events throughout the year as well, like their Fall and Spring Festival, their Christmas pop-up, and so many other vendor market pop-ups. All right, so all that sounds really great. But tell me, one important thing, coffee. If I'm gonna be making that drive to work, I'm gonna need some great coffee. Is there a local coffee shop nearby? So once upon a time, you had to drive 15 to 20 minutes just to get a good cup of coffee. But that all changed just a few years ago when Hoschton Coffee Co. came to town. It's located directly downtown and it's phenomenal. All right, all this is sounding better and better. So tell me, what's the most interesting thing about Hoschton? Well, I think it's that you can basically walk from downtown Hoschton to downtown Brazelton. They're less than a mile apart from one another. And both towns have a lot to do, so you can live in one town and still enjoy the other. So this is probably not a question you get asked often, but is there a place I can get a good wine slushie? Now you're speaking my language, and yes, Joyco. You're gonna find it just before you get into downtown. It's a great small town grocery store. It's definitely a must-see. All right, so that's the fun stuff, but now the more important stuff. We do have kids. Tell me about the schools. So I think the schools are great, and most of them are brand new or they're in the process of being built. But I always recommend doing your own research when it comes to schools. Here's a few resources. Okay, so tell me about the property taxes. So they're gonna average around 1% of the assessed value of the home. But just keep in mind, you might wanna check to see if you qualify for any homestead exemptions because that's really going to lessen the amount owed. Also, just remember, you're gonna wanna file those exemptions with the tax assessor's office by April 1st. Okay, I'm almost sold. But tell me, are there any good neighborhoods you think we should check out? So that's gonna be really dependent on what you want. But my two favorites are going to be Twin Lakes and Whitaker Downs. Okay, Twin Lakes has some of the best amenities in the area and it connects to a 55 plus community if you're looking to be closer to older relatives. And then Whitaker Downs has some of the best yards you'll ever see and some of the most beautiful homes you'll ever see. So if I wanted someone to show me around the area, maybe even look at some homes, who would I call for something like that? So that would be me. You would call me at the number on the screen. Hey there. I hope you enjoyed our video today. My wife and I help people from all over move here to the Northeast Georgia area, and we'd love to help your family too. Email us to start a conversation. Bye for now.